welcome, welcome, welcome to the Scottish Watches Live. And with the click of a magical button, I should be able to bring the gang all to life. Say hello, everybody. How are we doing?
Hello, everybody.
You're all
You right?
Hello.
yes.
Oh.
Everyone
Hey,
slowly
how's it going?
unmuting.
Hi,
There we go.
Hi,
Excellent.
everyone.
So the first bit appears to have worked. Who knows what will happen next? We set
Only get
our
worse.
alarm clocks. We set our alarm clocks I mean, there was only 98 of these Hodinkee alarm clocks, and there's 10 of us in the room, is there? So we all got one each, obviously.
Exactly.
So there
I
we
guess
go.
they work.
So yes, they do work. So unfortunately, what they don't work for is our guest. We were hoping to have a guest today, but his Hodinkee alarm clock didn't go off in time, so we're going to push him to next week. But Ralph is going to represent him because he is going to, instead of our guest, he's going to place Ryan's, who it would have been wristwatch handbook in presence of those of you that are familiar with a game show. It's not really a game show, but a show in this country called Have I Got News for You will be familiar with being larded, which is an icon of yours is placed in place of you actually being there. Anyway, let's start as we mean to continue and see what is going on. According to my screen, Ralph, you are top left. So introduce yourself and tell us what you're wearing.
My name's Ralph. Instagram handle coolpep_watches. And I'm wearing the IWC Portofino Chrono on a mesh bracelet that I got today as an anniversary gift from my wife.
Oh,
Very
Congratulations!
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. It's a dozen years of marriage, so
Amazing.
Awesome.
Wow.
Good stuff. Next up, Gigi.
You earned it.
hello. I'm
That's
Gigi
great.
at Time to Talk Watches on Instagram. And today I'm wearing my bit of a mouthful Oris Pro Pilot Big Crown GMT small seconds. And wow, Oris should get their naming things in order. It's got a really long name, but there we go.
Not the only ones, I suspect. Next up, we have Arthur.
Hey, everybody. I'm Arthur. I'm in the Washington, D.C. area. I'm Tick Tick Vroom on Instagram, and I'm wearing my Planet Ocean 8500 movement generation. I'm going to the beach later, so dive watch.
Good watch, good watch. And next up, who appears to both be in the live chat and on my screen at the same time, is Dan.
Hello, I'm Dan from Dan Occasionally Like Things. Today I've got the Speedmaster 57 on.
Ooh,
You can just see that.
lovely, lovely.
nice.
And over to, actually, we should have really have introduced chair number one as being Ralph, but chair number two we now have is Edwin.
So
What chair are you sitting on?
I'm standing.
He's
I
standing.
couldn't hack the chair-related abuse
Short
last
as
time,
I
so
Oh, okay.
I haven't sat on a chair since.
And what are you wearing?
I'm wearing the Louis Hirard Excellence Regulator. It's for Eric Giroux edition, which I'm currently reviewing, all three of
Cool.
them. So it's the Blue Dial one specifically. It's dead nice. I'm
You
all
like
right
it?
with it. Aye.
Good, good. You're happy in yourself. That's good to see.
No. I'm not happy with myself, but I'm
All
happy.
right, okay.
I'm happy with it.
Right. Well,
I'm dead inside.
Dead inside. Next up then is someone who's definitely not dead inside, but is giggling away at the moment, is Sophie. How's it going?
Hi, everyone. How are you? I'm Sophie Rindler, and I am wearing the OG Talker
Ooh.
radial engine
Damn.
today.
Ooh la la.
Yeah.
Oh, what's
Really
what
cool.
am I
Very
seeing
cool
there? Is
strap
that just
too.
is it like what am I seeing? It's just all silver.
It's
It's
the
not-
C.
It's not
Can you
got
see it?
diamonds or anything on it. Yes, I can see it. It's not got diamonds or anything on it, is it?
This is like a special made for me.
Ooh.
I have diamonds, and then I have my kids. I have my kids' names on the side here. I don't know if you can see. Usually, it's supposed to be a date, but I removed it and I put my kids' names on each side at 9 and at 3. So,
Jesus.
yeah,
Cool.
Oh,
Very good, very good.
That's
that's what you can do when you have a watch brand.
So let's see if
Rub it in.
Derek, who's next up, can live up to that. Derek, have you got your own watch brand with your kids' names on it?
No, not just yet. Derek in Brooklyn, New York. Today I'm wearing my new SBDC 101 Seiko That's one of the four, their new loose interpretations of the 62 Mas, and I'm greatly enjoying it.
Cool. And I think a couple other folk in this group have been a bit jealous of that watch in our WhatsApp chat. I think you've nearly persuaded at least 3 others to buy one. So,
I'd say it's worth it.
good stuff. And then finally, that you can see on the screen is Zach. How have you? I think you've actually stolen. You've got Edwin's chair. That's
like a
you've got the
disease.
same chair. This is outrageous. How's it going? What are you wearing?
It's going good. I'm Zach. I'm based in New York. My Instagram is @Watchtower, where the A is a 4 and the E is a 3. And I'm wearing my Guampan 1185 flyback chronograph.
Very posh. And then there are a couple of people who you cannot see. One is me, and the other is because apparently he has the gas man round, which is
Bogus one.
An excuse, if ever I heard one, is Ricky. How's it going, Ricky?
It is going all right. It's been a busy day today, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. We've just finished recording a show, and now we're doing this. So it's all kicking off. But there we go.
Yeah.
So,
And we're going to have to edit half of our show out.
yeah, because we've now got legal advice that we maybe take some of the stuff that we said. Anywho, so where in this day of days do you think we should start? Should we start with our own website, or should we just go straight to this? What do you think?
Let's
Hands
go
up.
to this.
I think you should break into it gently.
Should we ease ourselves gently in? Okay, so let's assess what Hodinkee have dropped this week, which is they've dropped a travel clock. I think this says a lot about what's going on. What do you guys think?
It's a clock.
Perfect time for release. Absolutely perfect.
Aye, they really read the room with this one. What's the one thing no one's doing? They're traveling. It calls for a travel clock that costs $6,000.
Nostalgic for times when we could travel.
I think it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the 1800th century movement, and it's redone. I love that it's a proper 8-day power reserve alarm clock, mechanical. It's amazing, but I'm completely with everybody else. Not the right time to spend $6,000 on something you can get from other brands for $100.
If that.
Or $9.99.
You can get it
Even
for free. It's like a swag.
free, yeah.
I prefer the talker version of it.
Thank you.
I mean, hands up here. So a quick survey. You are traveling to a foreign country, or just traveling somewhere whereby you need to wake up early in the morning, and you need that guaranteed, and you happen to have taken this with you.
Exactly.
Do you still set your iPhone to wake you up?
Yes.
No way.
No, I don't.
It's totally useless.
You're staying in a hotel. They have a wake-up call. You also have probably the watches magnetized from going through airport security because it's a historic movement, so it goes fast or slow. You forget to wind it, so yeah, it's nothing you would actually use.
And
it probably weighs a kilo.
And more importantly, what do you think that because it's not, you can't, it doesn't hack. So once it's wound up to the full 8 days, it's going. If you take that through airport security in your hand luggage or in your normal luggage,
you think ticking luggage is frowned upon?
Is the 21-year-old security guard who's never even heard of a manual wind clock going to have the foggiest idea of what he's looking at? Or are you going to be on the business end of a polyurethane glove and some Vaseline in 20 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think bombs tick anymore. I think international terrorism's gone the way of a quartz crisis. I think it's all digital now. So, but I take your meaning.
In the movies, it does, right? Even the quartz watches tick.
In the movies, right? Yeah.
In the movies.
Bring back analog terrorism. Real mechanical Swiss terrorism.
It's a good hashtag for the day.
That's so
Yeah.
good.
I don't know if it is a good hashtag.
Be a rough time to revive some 90s slang. They're like, how do you feel about the travel clock? Oh, it's the bomb. I love it.
Good one.
Very good.
No.
Very good.
No, I have a quick question.
quick question.
Everybody says that this is great for nostalgia. Not everybody, but anybody who's arguing for it, and it's very nostalgic or whatever. But any of you guys ever own a mechanical travel alarm? Because I definitely never did.
No.
Really?
I did. Yep, I did.
Never,
but that was
never.
when I was 12. And I'm 52 now, so just to have an idea how.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I had a
it-
quartz analog one that beeped loudly and annoyingly, but
Exactly.
Actually, I had one of the square browns that had one of the first ones that had the snooze function. So it has this button on top that you pressed and then it clicked again. And
Right.
after 10 minutes it woke you again. And then you took the clock and threw it out of the window because you couldn't be bothered to get out of bed. So that was about it. But it also was quite noisy, I remember, because it was tick, tick, tick all
Right,
night.
yeah.
And I'm thinking, I'm hoping this 6KU Hodinkee piece is much more silent than my,
Well, this is the
cheap
thing: is
or
anybody
brown.
that buys one of these ever going to be able to actually sleep? Because they're not going to be used to having anything ticking in the room. Probably somebody that buys a 7K travel alarm does not also have the experience of sleeping in a room full of swatches. So
Yes.
they've not got themselves used to the idea. I do think the interesting thing about this is that it's brand Hodinkee.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. I
It's
don't
not
see the added
GLC
value.
with a Hodinkee limited edition. This is actually Hodinkee designed their own, done their own thing, done their own design process, geared up for it, produced it. Obviously, have sold them all in 20 minutes. The question, all this font's their own font. The question is, are we about to see this on a wristwatch anytime soon?
They could
I would
try.
say
I
it's
guess.
But
inevitable.
so
logical step.
the question is Hodinkee becoming a watch brand?
Yes.
Like how far is a publication gonna go? It went from one point to another and it keeps on adding on. I just don't get it. I don't understand why anyone would spend any money on a magazine watch brand, like a blog watch brand. It makes no sense to me. It's not, they have zero history. It's clearly totally commercial. There is absolutely no soul to this. It came out of nowhere at the worst time possible. It's almost insulting,
But they've all sold, haven't they?
I think they are a watch brand.
Sorry, what are you saying, Dan?
Now
Dan,
they
what
are.
was that?
They have all sold, haven't they? So the amount of
That's
wealth
what they
that's
say,
around-
but
well,
did you see the numbers?
I think Dave's
I don't
got
believe
one.
they
Float
did.
Lights ordered one.
Dave is in the chat. Dave, have you ordered one of these? One thing we did notice, because we recorded a show earlier on today, was that we actually think that this is one enormous stitch up. And we see in this, don't we, Ricky, the handiwork of another watch personality. And I wonder if you've spotted this. We think a certain person, I'll just share this screen and see if this
What are
rings
you
any
about?
bells.
What are you gonna come
I
up
can't
with?
remember what it was I said.
May actually be behind this. Do we think that
Oh yeah, the Pontiff.
is actually, do we think it's actually Archie luxury? They're using Pontifa movement.
Pontifex.
I knew it.
We're thinking
Governess
this is
governor.
Archie. So
It's entirely
there we go.
possible.
Yeah, all things are right now.
Hodinkee aren't going to buy Archie Luxury, are they?
Well, there you go. That's another interesting rumor. So how should we deal with this? Basically, there is a rumor going around. And I think it's okay to report on rumors.
Yeah.
Possibly. But basically, that Hodinkee may be in the marketplace for buying another well-known watch publication and organizer of events, and we don't mean Baselworld.
Paul
but
Thorpe.
there is Paul. We don't mean Paul Thorpe or the London Watch Company's repeatedly postponed shows in London. But the interesting thing about the launch of this clock was it was also launched somewhere else very publicly, and that was in Worn and Wound, which I think has got some people asking whether, because Worn and Wound are also based in New York, I think.
Yeah, they're in Brooklyn.
whether there is actually something going on. Incidentally, both publications quickly switched off their comments on their Instagram account. But so much so
It's
that
about
Hodinkee
instantaneous.
Hodinkee actually then posted 2 further random posts just to kind of take the heat off. Everybody just put the post they were going to make about the clock on the other 2 posts. But the fact that Warren and Round have pushed this, I thought was quite interesting. And, you know, I could see there being some sense in a company that does what they do, right down to the micro brands being the one area that Hodinkee now don't cover, as well as events, which has always been my thinking that Hodinkee will one day get into the kind of red bar type meetups, whereby you'll go along to the Hodinkee meetup. But we'll see
like
whether that comes.
the snub version of Red Bar.
So, yes, it will not be free, and there will definitely be no Invictas. I mean, it's not just that you'll be able to kid on take an Invicta, you'll probably get searched at the door.
No entry with watches under $10,000.
Yeah,
exactly. That's exactly what it's going to be.
Talking about meetups, we'll move on a bit to this now. Unfortunately, Philogius is not on the show today, but this is Watches and Wonders. So as well as Hodinkee releasing something, Watches and Wonders, and what the artists, the watch meetup formerly known as Baselworld, are back. Watches and Wonders is now meeting in Shanghai on the 9th of September, which to me is quite soon.
Yeah.
Bad choice for a date if you think about it, because it's could be a resurgence in something we can't say. It's probably going to be around September, October, right? So,
also, you know, yeah, there's other things that, I'm just not sure. I think this is very much geared towards just servicing the Chinese market, which, bear in mind,
you want to bet it's gonna get cancelled? Okay, let's bet. Let's put money on the table.
Okay.
Who says it's happening?
Not as much as I'm willing to risk, but I think there's a good chance that things could go pear-shaped.
I think there's a good chance that there's no international visitors able to go. I mean, the UK are in the middle of falling out with China because of everything that's going on in Hong Kong, and the
US
United
the same.
States is probably, are there travel restrictions in place from the United States to China?
Well, the United States are unwelcome everywhere at this point. It's like, if you don't have a passport from the country you're going to, you're not going. If I wasn't French, I couldn't go to France if I didn't have a French passport. So
right, okay.
But you're coming from the US, though. I mean, wouldn't that be
that's
like
the thing? Even if you would think so, right? But even coming from the US with a European passport, you can go to Europe. Supposedly
because you're going home.
Quarantine, yeah. But if you're so Asia and China in particular, especially with the political mess that is happening right now between China and so many other countries. I mean, they're in trouble with Australia, with the US, with even some of their neighbors in Asia. So I just don't understand that decision. I don't understand the purpose of it.
I think this has got mostly to do with just selling watches in China, because the brands are so dependent on that Chinese market, and the Chinese can't leave China right now. You know, about 50% of all the watches sold in Scotland go to Chinese tourists, certainly in the likes of Edinburgh.
In Italy, the same.
So the only way to get it on is to go there.
But the date doesn't make sense. September 9th. It's just so strange that they're picking such a close date with everything happening right now. I mean, it's clearly there is second, third waves happening everywhere, including in China. So I don't get it.
I mean, I think they are banking on the rest of the world not necessarily attending, and they can afford to do that because, you know, that market doesn't need the rest of the world.
Yeah,
so, you know, it kind of makes
maybe
sense.
There could be travel restrictions inside of China, though, as well. I mean, if they have outbreaks. So, I mean, it's a bit of a, you know, it's quite a bet.
It's odd. Yeah, I just find it surprising.
They should just have it in Scotland.
Yeah.
Because we've only had one careful, Ricky, one death in the last 17 days or something like that.
Yeah, something like
That's it. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anybody that's ill, we just send them to England.
We fire them across the Hadrian's Wall on catapults like we the plague victims back.
So you don't,
Carlisle's get quite a lot.
you don't have hospitals in Scotland, right? So that's it.
So on then from Shanghai to this. This.
What were they thinking?
I mean, there are a number of things.
There's an E missing, right?
I was going to say, yeah. I mean, bold move to co-organize a thing with R. Kelly.
I just don't. This will have seemed like a really good name for the marketing company that did it, without any recognition of longevity about how long they're going to need to live with the "it's we time." I mean, let alone the fact that our universe, like in Scotland, you have H's in that. Our what? It just
It's amazing. What a quintessentially Basil thing to happen. I mean, again, I'm very much in the Ricky camp, in the minus having been to Basil before, in the, I'm really sad Basil died. I don't like all the fragmentation that's going on. I understand it, but I don't love it. And, I critically support Basil, even though he did, a lot of things wrong. But still, like, your big comeback name is a pun. And it's a bad pun.
It's
and
human guests.
It's the way they refer to human guests.
So iRobot showing up?
Oh, that's amazing.
But they would interact with other humans.
Sounds really warm and welcoming. Humans are encouraged to engage with other humans.
Yeah.
Please, go
Everyone's
ahead.
engaging in we time. It's we time for everyone.
I like the
It's beer and we time.
Okay, one person. Okay, we're all excited. One person at a time. Dan.
I like the projection of the yellow stream across as well. It just very well.
Oh, dear.
It's got that arc to it.
I had noticed that. Okay.
Maybe it was intentional. Maybe that's what they wanted to laugh.
Just taking the piss.
It's just the number of stories this is bringing together, with there being an election in the United States at the same time, and certain accusations that were made there back in the day. It's just all coming together. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, shall we talk some watches? Let's talk about this finally being available. Although this is equally funny. So Omega Speedmaster. This is the Ed White. Is now out available. This is in Fratello. Let's get rid of that there.
That's RJ's got his one, isn't he?
Who's queuing up for this?
What's the point of that again? Is it just that it's the moon thing and it looks pretty? I always forget what the 3-2-1 thing is.
Dan's
It's a
gonna have
column
something
wheel
to say about
chronograph.
that.
Oh, it's a column wheel thing, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a really venerated movement because people
Yeah,
don't realize this. Albert Piguet designed it for Le Mans, and he also designed the 861. But this movement went through such rigorous testing before this thing went into space. I went to the Orological Society of New York's lecture about it, and I don't unfortunately remember every little statistic, but I mean the temperatures it was subjected to and all these sorts of things. They were the only one that passed, and the Daytona was submitted, for example, but it couldn't meet their standards.
So that's why they call it the cosmograph and not the astrograph.
Yeah. Rigorously tested for everything except water. There we go. But what I particularly
You won't let that drop.
I absolutely will not. What I do particularly like about it, though, is Omega's press release that went with it. So the Omega press release, now I'll just read this out. See if you can spot the flaw, which is so industry news. Omega's Speedmaster Moonwatch 321 steel now available. Landing for the moon anniversary. 51 years ago this July. Yeah, even Omega's press release realizes that this watch was effectively launched a year late. Why? Why do it's just, I don't get it.
It's idiotic.
They've got all these watches ready to go for the Olympics, which is going to be a year late. They had 50 years to plan for this and managed to launch it 51 years later. So there we have
Outstanding.
it.
Well, it makes it memorable.
Yeah, I mean, no one else
Nothing
is
else.
celebrating the 51st anniversary, so
Exactly.
So talking of
If they had the alarm clock,
Oh man.
wouldn't have happened.
You're like a stand-up comedian, like the only funny German one that exists, that can tie it all together in one big thing there, Ralph. There we go. So we then switch to the Rob report and something else that's been launched by GLC. Kingsman movie.
That's pretty cool.
$30,000 dress watch. Do we like this?
It's cute.
I like it. I really
lot.
like it. I think it's extremely expensive.
Mhm.
But you know, I guess the brand calls for it. But I think it's a beautiful piece. I really, and the back, it's so strange. I've never seen a back like this.
I
You
need
know, with-
someone to explain to me how the strap stays on. Okay, I'm going to enlarge this so as you can see it. I know I'm not.
Sellotape.
So
That's a
if you
good
look
question. There's no spring bar going through there.
because there's no spring bar going through. Because this thing
Well,
here
there are
is
two very small spring bars, maybe.
is it screwed on the side? No, there's nothing on the side.
don't think it's screwed. No,
No,
I think it is
it's
just like
it's got so there's some weirdo lug system going on here.
Something
because
something
it must
inside
be,
the.
it must be like welded on or something, and these slide over.
And if you go
Because-
back, if you take it from the back side,
Unscrew the
let's-
lugs.
there
You
is-
unscrew the lugs. If you look at them from the back, the
that's
lugs
what I
are-
was thinking.
Oh.
Yeah, they
That's
looks
why
like
that's why the lugs have the screws like this.
All right, so
screws,
you have to get. So not only do you get to scratch your watch on the, you now
Seems
get
a
to
little
actually
bit-
scratch the case at the
You
same time.
and the screws and everything. Yeah.
That's so as my screwdriver slips from here right across the back of it.
Unless there
That's-
is a quick release, maybe on the back, on the strap.
I mean, if you wear it around London, there probably is a quick release, but that'd be the pickpockets.
Like zoom in on the strap.
This actual image won't let me. Oh no, let me zoom in a
Yeah,
little
on
bit.
this. Let's see if you can.
So there we go. So I don't know how that's done because that's free floating, and you can't see it. I mean, I think this is I think this fundamentally this is a Photoshop image.
Interesting.
So you
Yeah.
can't see of what this is.
Maybe they haven't actually figured it out yet.
Although is this? Yeah, that's possible.
Good luck
'cause
to
they
the people who
did that
buy one.
with the no, what was that watch they launched last year that kept on breaking? That Basel that didn't actually work.
GLC?
No, the
I don't
GLC.
remember.
Was it the gyro
I think
turbo?
the Winchester repeater, I think it was.
Mm.
It wasn't chiming when they had it there.
Right.
I think-
Westminster. Yeah, here.
Oh yeah.
Good. Cool. And as we bring this now that we're slightly calmer than we were to begin with, we'll look at something that no doubt everybody will completely approve of, which is this from Tag. This is
No.
this is tortoise shell. Look, for some reason, nobody can
Tortoise
quite
shell
explain to me
effect.
why this is from.
Is that real tortoise shell?
This
No,
is
no,
from
no.
Time and Tide.
Ah,
Oh, the-
Tortoise
if
shell
it-
effect.
blue one.
You don't have blue turtles.
No, we have brown ones.
Or maybe Tag has them.
Turquoise.
It reminds me of your watches, Sophie. You're dipped. Yeah, think about the.
Oh
dipped top.
no.
I was gonna say, ouch, savage.
Shots fired.
No. Oh God. No. This I don't know. I find this like a nothing watch to me. I just really
This is quite.
Well,
pretty.
yeah, it's a tag.
This is quite.
And
this is
it's
quite pretty.
And it's a rubber strap with alligator pattern.
and straight lines. It reminds me of something
it
else. You know,
I,
that comes with a
I-
rubber strap.
I think Ricky will like that.
You think that's up his street?
Yeah, I do.
I have a
I
pair.
don't know. I see a little AP, I see a little Patek, I see a little everything in there.
I think you need to stop smoking, whatever it is they're still letting you smoke over there.
I think it's okay.
I gotta say,
as far as tag releases are, I think it's good.
The blue shell just reminds me of Mario Kart. That's the one you throw and it goes and hits whoever.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I had an anxiety
That's
response
funny.
as soon as I saw it. That noise as it's coming in.
Yeah.
It's burned into my brain.
Wait, the red one's a Mario Kart shell too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just actually
Heat seek whoever's right in front of you.
Yeah.
Cool. So
The brown bezel matches my Persol glasses perfectly.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Yeah, they're
Oh,
very
yeah.
Persol-like. Yeah.
Anyway,
Would
that's
you wear
what
one?
they have to offer this week. So what
Fantastic.
then have we had to offer this week? Well, you ask, what what's been on Scottish Watch's mind? So we have this from Docra. Ricky, tell us about this. Are you awake?
I'm having my dinner. Caught.
So Ricky has dropped on the main Scottish Watches channel a review of this Doxa sub 300 carbon Aqualung US divers. It's pretty cool, I have to say. Good video, even though Dave, who I think is still in the chat, is on it. And that Dave thought very briefly that Doxa were part of AP or something. What was he thought?
No, he thought the AP were part of LVMH.
Ah, right. Okay, that's what it was. So you could, and unbelievably, you corrected him. But,
Yes, I didn't correct him when he was mistaking the minute hand for the second hand, though.
All right. Okay.
Let that one slide.
So
He
check
let
that
me
out
get away
on-
with dropping the watch a few times. So it's all good.
And that watch is now for sale. Only 3 careful users. We have last week's podcast with, or today's actually dropped with Commando Sundials, which
Yep, it's a good one.
was actually good. There will be some show notes along shortly. We have a review of this ZRC from Dave wrote this review, who's not on today, and neither is Chris, who did this, which is a Hoyer 1000, like a take on the full range of where they came from. But let's settle for a moment on this.
God.
Because this
Edwin,
caused a bit
you
of a stir.
horrible person.
This caused
Such a toxic article.
bit of a stir. Yes, there were the number of people that saw this posted on Instagram and responded to the post, but not actually by reading the article, was quite amusing. In particular, the one gentleman who chose to vent his spleen quite extensively on Instagram, I think accusing Edwin of being the world's largest watch snob misogynist, without actually realizing that it's a funny article. So you kind of need to go and read it. But it was very, very well done. So congratulations as usual to Edwin.
Thank you.
It
I
was
did
some classic-
actually. The reason that guy deleted his comment is because I actually reached out to him.
Did you?
Because I felt kind of bad. I mean, it was really funny that he didn't exercise any basic reading comprehension, but all the stuff he was saying was exactly what I think, and I felt really bad for him because it was like he was probably doing what I would do if I saw an article like that for real. In fact, the reason I wrote this is because I did see an article like that for real. I'm not going to say where it is. I don't even know if it still exists, but I saw it a while ago and I was like, I'm going to do a thing because I think that's whack and it's not what I'm about at all. So yeah, I kind of, as much as it was really funny, I felt for him. So I reached out for him and was like, hey, I agree with you, but delete your comment because everyone's going to dunk on you for not being able to read. So yeah, I now follow him. He seems like he has a nice collection.
Yeah.
What did he reply with?
You what?
What did he reply with when
He
you
didn't-
reached around?
He didn't. he saw it and then deleted it, and then presumably was embarrassed
Bashful.
into silence, which is fair enough. But
Well,
yeah.
just as well I copied what he'd written for the show notes.
Oh,
Anyway, so
Poor
I
guy.
thought this particular finding of that photograph was quite good. So, yeah.
Oh dear.
It's all about fighting at the end of the day. It is obviously the Scottish.
That's what being a man is, and I know
Exactly.
better than anyone what it takes to be a man because I'm a manly man, and I fight people
Yeah.
all the time.
man-
I'm fighting
man.
someone right now off screen. That's
Because
how
recently you became a man.
Yeah, but basically,
Yep.
I came out of a womb, punched the doctor in the face, and then that was it. I was just chopping down trees and barbecuing stuff,
So let's bring this to a close. Apologies, there does seem to have been some audio, some echoes. Not sure whose fault it will be. I don't think it's mine for a change, but if you've caught the echo, then apologies. So what is everybody looking forward to this week? Do we
Hey
think
Rick,
Hodinkee-
I added it to the show notes late, so maybe you didn't see it. But just
right,
this
okay.
morning, there was a email about a new Ming diver coming in a couple weeks. Anybody
right,
else
okay.
see that?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Give us an address. Is it somewhere I can look it up?
I just got an email about it. Zach, you got it too, right?
Yeah,
I got
I'm gonna.
to.
It's
on one sec.
it's a 40 millimeter, 1,000-meter water resistant, 13 millimeters thick titanium ceramic loom bezel for 3,000 Swiss.
Okay, so a dive watch.
Yeah, so
Good.
it's a,
GG can
it's
order
pretty-
this
it's
and then
pretty-
cancel.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking exactly. the
spec
same
wise,
thing.
it
I
sounds
ordered
pretty
it
solid.
10 minutes later.
Have
I
you
just didn't
got
know
a
if
Ming
anybody
yet?
else got that. I'm sorry, what?
Have you got a
I
Ming?
wonder what it looks like.
I don't. I woke up early for the last one, like a month or two ago, but it was a little outside of my price range at the time.
And so, is anybody particularly interested in this? Zach, you
Zach's got a Ming, right?
I do, and I was one of the people that ordered a 2701, but when it came time to figure out a way to fund my long, I unfortunately had to drop out of that order. But the one thing I do know, having spoken to the Ming team, is that this diver is not going to be, the Abyss concept that they did. So it's not going to look anything like that. It's going to be its own sort of standalone new design diver. So as much as people like me would love that watch to be a production model, that's not happening. So don't expect that.
Cool. And what
Alright.
else do we think in expectation of this week?
Well,
Anything else, Oliver?
there is something really cool that is being launched this week. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called the Garbage Watch. So this is
Victor?
the Garbage Watch, and it's really made out of garbage. Everything that you find in a trash, and it's all recyclable stuff.
Where
and
was
it's made,
this for my parody?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Zach wrote an article all about
One
this.
week too late.
It's actually quite cool. It's all electronic garbage, so wires and whatever you don't keep from your boxes of wires and stuff that end up being obsolete.
All those cases
And-
that Hodinkee took all the electronics out of to put their movements in. They can use for this.
Maybe it's gonna
So
go.
who's doing this?
So it's done. I think it's a Swiss brand.
Mhm.
I have to see if it was a Swiss, either Swiss or French.
Oh, Volbach? Volleybach?
No, I think the brand is garbage brand. I think they actually give that
It's not very nice to
brand
say.
Garbage
Alright.
wash. Let me see.
That looks cool as
Ah,
hell.
no, it's actually London. It's a
let me-
British brand.
I can
And
share this
it's-
if everyone gives me a second. And those
It's coming from a British fashion brand
website.
called Volleybach.
Looks pretty good,
Yeah.
actually.
It's pretty cool. I tell you, it's actually cool.
That's really
I
that's
like
really
it.
neat.
It looks like that's been lifted from the Back to the Future DeLorean.
Yeah, so Volleybach is a fashion brand from
Okay.
England.
This
You know
looks
what
like
this
a fun
reminds me
watch
of?
to take through customs.
Yeah, see, that looks like modern terrorism.
That looks
I
like an
think it's
everlasting
such-
gobstopper.
It does.
It's
It does.
very cool.
That's what it looks like. to
Yeah,
me.
it's like a video game watch.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
does
got
have
that
a
Richard
Wonka
Mille candy
look.
watch kind of vibe.
Yeah, it does. I don't know what the price is. Let me see if I have something here with the price.
Do we
But
have
I
it?
thought it was something very
that's cool.
cool, different, happy. And in these times, I think it's a welcome change, and it's so much more interesting than a desk clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It's super
But
fresh and
there is
different.
a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a story behind it, and I think it's really cool.
That's definitely a conversation piece for sure.
Yeah, for
Yeah, that's a
sure.
great show. I had no idea about that. That's really
No,
cool.
me neither.
If only there was an
Yeah.
article on our website about it.
Is there?
No, doesn't that remind you of the watch Sanford? Remember that watch Sanford was going to?
The electrician watch.
The electrician
The
stuff,
electrician.
yeah.
And then
Yes,
do
it
you
is
remember the
it's a bit like
blurb he
that.
got sent by the company, which was absolutely like,
Yes.
what are these guys writing?
Uh-huh.
So it was like, it reminds me a lot of that.
Yeah, that's cool. Quite like that. Funnily, if you go to the article on Hypebeast about it, it talks about it, and then as you scroll to the bottom, it says, for more watch accessories, Hodinkee has joined Swiss Watch Me. They're everywhere. Anyway, So anything else anyone's looking forward to coming out this week? And if not, then we shall call a halt to this for the day. It's been good fun. Nobody's got anything they're waiting on getting delivered or ordered or anything like that.
I want to watch. I want a
watch.
great Oris.
Wow.
Hold on
I'm
a second.
so excited.
We know
So
about
you have all these Facebook groups that have what they call waffles, because they are not allowed to call it raffle because it's gambling.
yeah.
So they call it waffles. Watch waffles. And
Blue.
so I play all the time, and I'm a member of several of these groups. And 2 weeks ago, I won this kick-ass Oris. I have to get a picture of it or to go get it. And it's my first Oris because I never bought an Oris, and I don't know why, it's just never happened to me.
Have you stolen any?
No, but I
No?
I won one. I got it for free. Literally, it cost me, I think, $135.
But for those who haven't heard Sophie on our podcast, I can't remember what episode it was. Sophie finds it difficult
Acquires.
to distinguish between winning stuff and borrowing stuff and stealing stuff. So
And finding stuff in couch cushions.
I'm going to ignore this.
Okie doke. Excellent. And this weekend, Arthur and Dan are taking a break. So we might well where are you going? What's the excuse, boys?
Can we not just get their wives on?
Well, I almost asked, thinking that might actually work better, but
We're changing locations and working from home from a beach house for the next 2 weeks. So
oh right, okay.
Yeah. I don't know what Dan's up to. But...
I just can't be bothered.
So yeah, there's nothing to look forward to since there's no live. So we'll be back.
We did discover something else, which is that you also are a drummer.
I am.
So there is 5 or 6 people now within this group who all play the drums. So there you go. It's just clearly what goes hands in hands, and guitars and all. So there we go. Well, thank you all very much for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and that everybody forgives us. We quite like to Hodinkee again. But there we go. You will go and make stuff to do with travel when nobody's allowed. So anyway, as I say, it's goodbye from me, and now it's goodbye from all of you.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. See you next time.
Ciao.